prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet still, if bird or devil, whether tempter sent or whether tempest tossed thee here ashore, desolate yet all undaunted on this desert land enchanted. Oh, this home by horror haunted, tell me truly, I implore, is there balm in Gilead? Tell me, I implore, quoth the raven. Nevermore. Prophet, said I, thing of evil, prophet, still if bird or devil, by that heaven that bends above us, by that God we both adore, tell this soul with sorrow laden, if within the distant Aidenn it shall clasp a sainted maiden, whom the angels name Lenore, clasp a rare and radiant maiden, whom the angels named Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore. So this guy's having a conversation here with a raven who keeps saying nevermore. And the narrator here is filling in the rest of the dialogue to go along with what may be nevermore, but might just be and of course, what is now erupting out of his subconscious. He cannot deal with his loss of Lenore during the day. He's mashed it down there in his subconscious. But in the state between wake and sleep, the embers of the fire, the raven, reading a book of yore, Lenore is coming back. Be that word our sign of parting, bird or fiend, I shrieked up starting, get thee back into the tempest and the night's plutonium shore. Leave no black plume as a token of that lie thy soul hath spoken. Leave my loneliness unbroken. Quit the bust above my door. Take thy beak out from my heart, and take thy form from off my door, quoth the raven. Say it. Nevermore. He's really filling in the dialogue here now, talking about leave me alone, leave my loneliness unbroken. The narrator is now starting to cherish in the darkest of ways his missing of Lenore. He can't move on from it. And a bird coming in and saying nevermore draws it all out of his subconscious. And the raven never flitting, still is sitting on the pallid bust of Pallas just above my chamber door. And his eyes have all the seeming of a demon that is dreaming, and the lamplight o'er him streaming throws his shadows on the floor. And from my soul out that shadow that lies floating on the floor shall be lifted nevermore. So in this poem, we see Poe's really the theme that he keeps coming back to in all of his writing. What motivates us, what drives us, is what is within us, right? Our response to an external stimuli, even a raven, in this case, a beautiful chicken, saying nevermore, brings out all of his buried feelings, his unresolved mourning over his lost Lenore. And many of Poe's stories show that what's inside of us is what drives us, right? And it's so easy to forget that. We are so tempted always to say, this made me do that. This person, I'm responding to this person. You are responding, but what's governing that response is what is in you. And you need to understand that. You need to understand yourself. And once you understand that what's inside of you is what's governing you and not what is outside of you, you can start to make changes to that. Right? This is, it's a very dark poem. Most of Poe is very dark. But when we get around to Thoreau, we're going to talk about understanding what's inside of you and making your life your own. and owning what's inside of you, right? And not letting it govern you. If you understand it, now this is the whole point of psychoanalysis. If you understand what's driving you, maybe you can alter it and you can respond to that differently. So that is Poe's main concern, and that is the theme we will be returning to throughout our time with Edgar Allan Poe.